Welcome back to Rio. This stunning city is home to about 7 million people, and up to a quarter of them live in communities known as favelas.
These are Rio's poorest neighborhoods. There are about 1,000 here in this city alone. You can see them everywhere. They kind of climb up the hillsides. They're named for the favela tree that grows in this area, and they've become synonymous with poverty and crime. But that's not the whole story. We went to one of Rio's oldest favelas, Santa Marta, and found that life on the margins is both challenging and colorful. Under the shadow of Rio's Christ the Redeemer sits a community named for a saint. What are the major challenges of living in a favela like Santa Marta?
Education, health, and sanitation are the top 3 demands people have.
Theresa Williamson runs a nonprofit to help the favelas. On a rainy afternoon, she gave us a tour of Santa Marta, where few residents would stop to speak with us on camera for fear of associating with our group, traveling with a police escort.
Often these houses look precarious to an outsider, but to the people who live in them, they've rebuilt the home 3, 4, 5 times over several generations. This is a sign of a healthy favela when you see building materials everywhere, right? You see stacks of cement, you see, it looks chaotic, but actually these are people who are developing. Look, they're plastering the wall. These are people who are slowly but surely improving their home.
We talked about, basic services. Everywhere you look, though, there's garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it seems like a huge issue here.
It is. It just constantly piles up unless either the government comes in and cleans it or community members do it, which both can happen and do happen occasionally, but not frequently enough.
There's graffiti everywhere, not only here in the favelas, but Brazil, but you do see these initials from time to time, CB. What is that?
That's the Red Command, which is one of the major drug trafficking factions in Rio. So in communities where they kind of run things or have historically, you'll see that graffiti.
Just means this
their
is their
territory. Yeah.
Gangs still have a presence here. A pacification program launched by police 8 years ago promised to make things safer, and to some extent it has. Heavily armed officers like Danilo Dominguez patrol the favela wearing body armor with their names and blood type stitched over their hearts. It's a community and the police working together, not butting heads. He says the police and community are like a family. Sometimes he says they have problems, but they try to solve them in a way that benefits both sides. I was talking to a member of the military police, and I kept asking him, is it safe here? Is it safe here? And he kept saying yes, 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 and yet he's wearing a bulletproof vest, and there were 2 of his fellow officers who followed him out of the police station. And to be perfectly honest, they're following us everywhere we go.
To make sure that everything's okay. It was much safer 2 years ago than it is now.
Because the economy turned down, it's gone bad again?
I think, yeah, part of it is economy decline. Part of it is that the policing program itself lost respect as it rolled out so ineffectively in other places where there was torture and widespread abuse. And part of it is that people were much more hopeful.
But hope remains. This man opened a shop 6 months ago. People outside of the favelas have an opinion of life here. What don't they understand? He says it's become peaceful. He's lived here for 50 years, and now he sells snacks and drinks to tourists. When the people here at the end of the day get ready to go to bed, they look down and they see the lights of Rio. I mean, that's Sugarloaf right over there. And they see modern Rio down here. Is there a sense here of envy, of jealousy? How do they feel about life down there?
I think there's both. I mean, there are people who envy. That's why you have such high crime rates, part of the reason, and also the desperation, the inequality.
But do they want to be there?
But, well, not necessarily. People are born and raised in these communities. They're very culturally vibrant. They don't see the same sense of kind of community in those neighborhoods.
They may walk down during the day and work down there, and at night, though, this is where they want to return for their sense of community and comfort.
There's an element of people are born and raised, for generations, and this is where they can create their lives. This is where they have control over their outcomes. Often there's a cultural element where they don't even imagine what it would be like to live there, and the people there can't even imagine what it would be like to live here. They're right next to each other, but they're worlds apart.
It is
Wow,
important as we
fascinating.
sit here on this beautiful beach on most days to remember there are two sides of Rio.
Yeah, absolutely. Great piece.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.